What's up, everybody? Sparrowwood here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Space Engineers. When we left off in the last episode, we kind of changed our bridge design here. By, instead of going forward with it, we kind of brought it up a layer. So yeah, we're going to end up having to move this thruster, I'm pretty sure. Not 100% positive. Actually, though, that might not be a bad time to confirm... Oh, not dampeners. Mirror mode. I would kind of like to confirm whether or not these blocks, these S thrusters, cause block damage. I don't believe they do. I'm fairly certain that we tested this already. Yeah, I don't think they do. Because I'm pretty sure that would have been damaged already. Okay. So we'll operate under the assumption that they don't for now. I know there are other modded thrusters that don't, so even if they do end up causing problems, we can always fix it later. Alright, so theoretically, now, this is supposed to be the bridge. Let's actually move... where are they? There's also these VTOL ones, which are pretty cool. There's a lot of thruster mods. I do also like the modular ones. It's actually from the same S. Or... wait, maybe it's not. I thought they were the same mod maker. Might not be. If they are, they're just labeled differently. I can't remember. There's too many mods! Oh, that is not the right thruster. Okay, well, that's different. We're just going to put one down there. Doesn't really matter, that's not the right one, because I'm going to eventually use these anyway. Mostly because they pack more of a punch. Now that is intriguing. It's not drastic improvement, but that did seem to improve my frame rate a little bit. Fascinating. Let's continue to test this theory for a minute here. Okay, that makes no sense. Wait a minute. I can put the thruster this way, I can't put it this way. What? What kind of sense does that make? Alright, so we're at 15. Away, bring it back. Huh. Well, this is intriguing. So whenever there's one of these smaller ones in frame, it usually drops to like 15. But if I look away, bring it back... I guess it's about the same. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really hurt to change up the thrusters or anything, but I might be making stuff up. I don't know. So, yeah, our bridge design here... Actually, now that I think about it, I just now remembered... Oh, I already had a bridge there. That's funny. I just now remembered that I actually had a comment quite a few episodes ago, actually. Yeah, it's weird. The number doesn't seem to have changed on my frame rate, but it just feels a little bit smoother. I don't know. It might just be in my head. But anyways, I had a really good suggestion a while ago, so let me go check that out, and I will be back in a second. Alrighty, so, I did finally find it, and it was talking about, which is a good idea, and I kind of needed a refresher course. It was talking about having a standard style bridge on the main deck, like right about here kind of thing, is having your your main kind of bridge type of deal. But then doing basically a reverse, like your war room CIC, stuff like that, up on the ceiling, kind of keeping with the theme that we've been doing so far of flipping the rooms around. Now, there is one issue that I see, not with the overall design of that, but just where we've got the bridge at the moment, and that's this. So, we're going to have to somehow bring... We would either have to make this ramp a lot longer so that we can go straight up, or we're going to have to bring the ramp back around and go back up this way, because we need the bridge to be higher than this. Mostly, and we also have to take into account there's going to be there's also going to be like at least a layer of just normal block, like for the hull up here. So yeah, there's that. Granted, we haven't built the hull yet, but I just mean we have to at least account for a layer, if not more. But I want to be able to like view, you know, have a room with a view type of thing up here. So I just keep thinking in my head, I'm not sure if we'll actually end up pulling off the flip bridge, only because of design-wise how I'm thinking of laying this out. But we'll have to just start kind of messing around with it. What I would like to do... Is it under glass or window? I think it's window. Maybe? Yeah, this stuff, it was designed as kind of like a, whatchamacallit? Flat end. Window slope. Bridge window slope pane. I don't think we've been using the offset door very much. Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. Actually, I don't like that it's not tinted on either side, but that's kind of cool. Oh, these aren't tinted at all. Well, then why is one invert and one's not? That's... Wait. Yeah, that's weird. Why would it be inverted if there's no difference? So, bridge flat end invert. Is it just that they are different directions? Oh, okay. Okay. So it's inverted direction. Got it. Well, that's kind of cool and not. That I kind of wanted it to be tinted on the outside, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Alright. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that or not. So yeah, tell you what I'm gonna do. Let me play around with this a little bit, and then we'll come back and see what I've come up with so far. Alrighty, so we're getting there a little bit. So what I ended up doing, pay no attention to this pillar in the center. That's not gonna be there eventually. So what I ended up doing was branching out and doing another ramp up, which it's a little steep. I think it's 4 blocks or something, but there really wasn't a whole lot of other ways to do it. And then, of course, we've got our door here. I thought about using the Death Star doors, but I didn't want to overuse those. So I thought this would look kind of cool, especially given the walls and stuff. And then this direction will kind of turn into our war room, things like that, where we can see what's going on. Then this turns into the main command position. Totally not Emperor. Not at all. No. Not Emperor in the least. Pay no attention to this rotor here. Now, granted, I haven't tried to actually turn the rotor. It's probably something that I should do. Actually, let's do that real quick, just to make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. let's see. Gosh, I don't even know how to identify the rotor here. Let's do... Is it still under motor? No, what am I... Airtight rotor? Maybe that's it? Alright, so let's crank up the braking torque and let's do like 1. Yep, okay, that's us. So let's rename this to bridge rotor? No. Captain's chair rotor. Oh, that's block group. What am I doing? There we go. So we're spinning. We're doing okay. Let's put... We're going positive. Let's do... Alright, first of all, let's turn this off for now while we set this up. So I'm thinking of trying... Let's do a lower limit of 0. And we'll try... Oh. An upper limit... Oh, 361. That's... weird. Oh, because there currently is no upper angle. Duh, that makes sense. I was thinking current angle's 36 and 36.1 equals 36. I was like, what? Don't mind me. Yeah. Let's do... What would it be? 180? I think. And we'll set this back down to 0, because what I'm going to end up doing is, just for now, just temporarily, I mean, it's not going to be permanent or anything like that. If I can get the screen to come up. Maybe? There we go. Goodness. Alright, so let's first of all have the toggle block on off. And velocity, velocity, velocity. Increase velocity. Decrease velocity. And reset. Okay. So now we can turn it back on. Whee! Let's see if it works. Sort of. Kind of. I never understand why these don't work. 194. Set this to 180 with a full braking thing, but it, oh, it's the torque. Okay, the torque gives it an extra boost. So let's do 680. Alright, now it should rotate us back. And clunk. So that's kind of cool. So we got the whole Emperor effect, which is kind of interesting. So now what I'm trying to work on here is the wraparound, because I don't want this to show. This isn't going to be here either. It's going to be tied into... Actually, I could tie it in right now. Maybe. I don't know. No, I don't think the... I'll need the walls up. I'm going to tie it into the walls. Anyways, I want it to kind of be a seamless wraparound type of thing. I've experimented with a few different blocks. As you can see, we've got the standard ramp just for normality. We've got the little windows, but I don't think I want to do windows because then you're going to see what's under there, and because of the way the block works, I can't put anything under there. So don't really want to use windows now that I think about it. That's the heavy armor block. More windows. I thought about putting screens at some point, but nah. So then we got to this one, which is what I personally think is my most viable option. And that's the high-tech armor. So we're going to do corner here, slope here. I personally think that's pretty cool looking. It meshes well with the Death Star blocks. The one part I'm not sure about is right here. In the center, I don't know if we should try and put the another ramp just for uniformity, so it looks a little bit more normal, but that would require me to actually be able to get that to work. Which, for some reason, this block does not like working. There we go. So I could do something like that. But I don't know. That's... The other problem we're going to run into here is how we design the rest of the walkway as well. And what I mean by that is I'm thinking, again, not trying to duplicate an exact version. I kind of like that. I think that looks probably like the best that we're going to get. I'm just going to put like a block here. This is the only part I'm not sure about, so I'll do a couple of them like that. Because I don't plan on actually wrapping a walkway all the way around it, so I'm not really sure it is necessary. Is kind of the thing. Oh, I just thought of something. I just thought of something kind of epic. There's this one, but then there's this one, which happens to be 3x3 also, which is just beyond epic. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. I might leave that there. And then we could actually, I'm actually enjoying lighting, to be honest. If I could spell. So the ceiling lights work well. I like them. They work pretty cool. There's a number of other lights we have to work with. These are fake lights. I've had a few people ask me about these before, but they don't actually work. Light reactor, reactor upgrade light. Don't know what those do. These aren't bad. Personally, I'm a big fan of these. I really like these lights and this one. But I'm open to experimenting with some other lights. Oh, I guess these you can't color, and these you can? Oh, I hope you can color these. I think they're a different mod, so they should be fine. But, like, keeping with, Death Star theme, I mean, these would work. These would work good. Oh! Hold on. Let's try... Let's try and put the inverted one, like, out here. Oops, wait. I don't think this looks any different, really, so... Because by doing it this way, it'll allow us to put things here. Sweet. That's better. Now, now the only thing is... Okay, I think it is sealed. So yeah, we could put lights like... I'm gonna do like a different corner for each one, I think. Do that one. We could do like that, which would be a cool light to have. Again, these aren't These I might actually use throughout the ship if I need colored lighting. And, you know, don't want as big of a light as something like this. The other one I've thought of for like a Death Star, whatever you want to call it, Star Destroyer, are these. These are kind of interesting to me, but they're not as flat as I'd like them. These aren't bad either. So there's some different lighting options that we could go with. More than likely, just keeping to form, I tend to like these back two more. That I'll probably end up using some kind of variation of those, unless we can find some, I don't know, interesting way to do those. I just realized that I left this heavy armor block here for some reason. Okay, so what I started to say about the rest of the ship is we're in a bit of a bind with the catwalks because we can't put anything directly under them. The closest you can do is the block below. Like that. Which isn't terrible, but the problem comes into how do you set this up. So for example, whoops, missed the floor. For example, I've been thinking about, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. This might not work. I was originally thinking about doing this in kind of that Star Destroyer fashion that you see in like Empire Strikes Back, where you got the catwalks for like the officers and then everything's like down here. And because it's a catwalk, if you built the floor one layer below, it would just be like floating there, which would work. It would make sense. The only problem is this, that because I don't have a corner block, I don't think I can use this as a corner anyway. You know? No, that wouldn't work, because this is at an angle. Never mind. That was dumb. So... because this is probably going to be the only way I can actually do this, I either have one of two options. I have to leave this hollow, and you just have a walkway with a wraparound, and that's it. And we have no border. Or, we have a border, but then I don't know what to do with here, because it's like if all your workers are here and you turn around, this just looks weird. It's like floating. So of course, my natural other option, let's turn on this for a second, is to at least, if nothing else, for this section, doing a floor similar to something like this, as we've kind of grown to make the gold standard for how we're building the ship, and then you do like walls. If I can grab a hold of this, please, please. There we go. You know, and then you do walls like this, which effectively, of course, negates this block, but, you know, whatever. This is all just design phase. So, you could do something like this. Oops. And I know I am kind of like building as I go, but I'm just spitballing. This is probably what I'll end up doing. So this is why I'm building it like this, so that you can kind of see where I'm thinking of going with it. And of course keeping to form with the rest of the ship type of thing. And then either doing a sunk down, but then you can see this, which is weird. So yeah, I'm having trouble with the sunken type effect on the bridge. I'm not sure that's going to actually work, mostly because of our little captain's chair. I mean, every captain has a chair, right? I mean, it's just normal. Let's change this one out. And of course, we're going to probably have to use good old... oh, what's the name of this mod? It's in, like, everything now. It's something consoles. Engineering. Where did it go? Command console pack. You know, this is kind of the gold standard now for consoles, or for command bridges and all that kind of stuff. See that one? Console straight, main with chair. Cockpit with HUD, with display. Curve long. Not sure which ones I'm gonna need. I love these curve ones, though. They remind me a lot of... Ooh, I don't have that much room to work with, though. They remind me a lot of how the actual Emperor Chamber looked in Return of the Jedi, actually. That, like, if you could make just a ring of these... Well, I might actually be able to make a ring of these now that I'm looking at it. You know, if you could do something like that with, like, a pillar in the center or something, they kind of remind me of... Actually... I don't know. Maybe we want to leave it that way. Tell you what, we'll turn off that... And we'll do a different set over here. Oops. Let's try... Man, it's only 2 blocks. That's difficult. Suppose we could do something like this. Instead. That's not a bad idea either. And then we can continue and have, like, the bridge wow, this is looking very imperial, I gotta admit. And then, of course, my end game for the bridge. And we're just gonna bring this out a ways, because I'm gonna show you what I'm thinking, but I don't know, like, how this is actually gonna, like, where this is actually gonna end up happening, so I don't know where to put it yet. And that is to look under Windows again and grab... I guess that's all I would need. Let's see, how many blocks do we have here? Let's just go from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll need a center block. I suppose I could go with this. Oh no, that's a slope. Okay. Well, then let's just do 1, 2, 3. And we'll just see how this ends up looking. What do we need here? I think it should look something like that. Both ends, maybe? Okay. And as far as what this is built on, I don't know. We could do something else, I suppose. There we go. There we go. That's kind of my end game for this bridge, is having it, you know, you have all your computers and everything, but kind of the epic... you know what? This is attached to something, right? Okay, cool. So what we're gonna need... I think I might actually do the catwalks for this also, but what we're gonna do is like this. Dang it. Come on. I guess because the windows are all connected, I don't really need it to do that. There we go. There we go. Now it looks more accurate. So, you know, we can have the, might have to change my skin after all this. You know, so anyways, getting a little into this. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at so far with the bridge. As far as the flip part goes, I don't know. If we're going to flip it, it'll probably be out here. Because this is more the throne, this is more the bridge type of thing. And I can go further out, you know, whatever. I'm not real worried about that. And, just as kind of a hint, let's see, how high are we going? How's this looking? I don't want it to look goofy. No, this actually would probably look like a small Star Destroyer, is kind of how this is going. Like some kind of class between... I don't know. Like, this is going to be a cross between, like, a cargo... Or, not cargo, a small carrier type ship. Like, it is not going to be a full Star Destroyer by any stretch. I mean, we barely have a hangar, a reactor, a refinery, you know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's gonna be weird. Oh, I just realized something. I just realized something really cool. And that is because I'm using full blocks for this stuff. I didn't actually use this console. I can use these vents as well. So for example, because we're actually in the full block oh wait, maybe not. Dang it! I was thinking it was the other way. Man, I keep wanting to use those vents and they never fit anywhere in my designs. It just never works. Oh well. I mean, we could attach them on top. I just like everything being flush with the wall. So anyways, I think that's going to do us for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Feedback is always welcome. Ideas, thoughts, theories, etc., etc. So let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.